Hey everybody! It's Sunday on Out of This Binary. This week's topic is coming out, and I just want to acknowledge before I get into this topic that I have had a very privileged experience when it comes to coming out, because I am totally the luckiest, and I just have amazing family and friends and employers. And I'm so sorry for anybody who doesn't get to experience what I have experienced when it comes to coming out. Okay, so coming out. While I do agree that coming out shouldn't be something that we have to do, I absolutely have a coming out story, because it is something that we have to do, as ridiculous as that is. I don't feel like I need to tell anybody that even though I have this body, I don't identify as female. I don't feel like I have to tell anybody who I'm sexually attracted to and be like, hey, is it okay that I am this way? Cool, awesome, glad that I have your approval. But that is how society works right now, currently. We do have to come out. So the first time I came out was when I was 11 or 12. And I told my two best friends that I was bisexual. And, when I came out, in the actual moment of coming out, it was really well taken. My two best friends were like, oh my god, me too. And then it turned out later that they weren't, and they were actually really horrible people and gave me a lot of crap for having a girlfriend later in life. But in the moment of coming out and telling my friends that I was bisexual, I was really accepted, and I didn't feel embarrassed, and I didn't feel ashamed, and I didn't feel scared. I was, however, super young, and I didn't tell my family at that point that I was bisexual because I was terrified of how my family would take it. And then as I got older, I started identifying more as pansexual, and I also started not caring what my family thought about my sexuality, so there was never for my sexuality, there was never a coming out to my family. I just stopped caring, and so I would start openly talking about females that I was attracted to, or just other people that I was attracted to, and it was just kind of known in my family that I just didn't care about what genitalia or identity somebody had. I am attracted to just humans for so many reasons that are not related to what their gender is and what's between their legs and what pronouns they use. So that was never, my sexuality was never a big deal for coming out. And my gender, so when the very first time I ever came out with my gender identity, I was experimenting with being non-binary, and I told my boyfriend at the time that I didn't like being called a girl, and I was having these issues, and he didn't understand, and we broke up shortly after. And then I had some partners after that who were super cool about it, and they were just totally letting me experiment with pronouns and fashion and figuring myself out and all of that. So that was super cool. I came out on Tumblr as non-binary, and I was super open on Tumblr, and I was super open with all of my friends, and I was super open with my partner, and still not really my family. And then I started just openly correcting my family more and trying to explain gender as a social construct, and gender as a spectrum that is moving and flowing for me, and all of that. So then about a year ago, I thought about transitioning, and I was at this really weird place with my gender where I still identified as non-binary, but I was really disliking my body and panicking about it all the time and not really knowing what to do. And I saw a gender specialist and went to a support group and was in regular therapy, and had told everybody that I was debating transitioning and that I thought that I was gonna get on hormone replacement therapy. So during that time, I requested that everybody call me by a different name, and I was kind of just feeling it out, and my family was super accepting of that. My family changed my name in their phones, and all of the gifts that I got for Christmas and my birthday were like written out to me, but under the name that I had chosen, and I could talk to them about how I was feeling. So, I mean, I told them pretty early on in my like anxious, weird feelings that I was feeling like I might have to transition and get on hormone replacement therapy, and they all took it really well and tried their hardest to remember my chosen name and pronouns. And since then I've decided that that's not for me, and that's not the path that I want to go down for my body and my identity. And I have also since then gone back to going by my birth name, but there was a while there where like all of my friends and family were super supportive and understanding, and coming out was like so easy to them. I just told them like, hey, this is how I'm feeling, and this is the name I want to try, and this is what I'm thinking about doing. And they were mostly all like super supportive about it. So I know I'm lucky when it comes to coming out. I know that. I know that I'm so lucky and always have been. But I am now in a new city. I moved to Tucson, and when I got the job that I have now, I had all these coworkers, and that meant coming out again. Eventually they were going to misgender me, and it was something that would have to be addressed. And I slowly but surely am. I'm not hiding it. I'm not trying to be in the closet. I'm not afraid to correct people if they misgender me. For me, since my gender is fluid, like sometimes they can call me a girl and stuff like that, and it doesn't bother me, and I kind of identify with it, and it's okay. But usually, it's something that I have to correct. And for the first few weeks at my new job, I had this coworker who every time he would walk up to a table where like myself and multiple other people were sitting, he would say, "Good morning, ladies," because we were all female bodied. And all of my other coworkers identify as female, but I don't. So I started correcting him and I just asked him like, "Hey, can you come up with a neutral term?" And at first he took it like he was just super sarcastic about it and was like, "Oh, sorry about your gender issues." But, if he wants to look at it like that, then that's his bad. And I'm just going to keep trying to educate people, and I'm not going to let them misgender me, whether or not it's more comfortable for their tongue to say ladies than it is to say people when they walk up to a table and greet them. So I'm still coming out. Coming out is a lifelong process. You'll have to come out if you feel comfortable coming out, and coming out is what you want to do. You're going to have to come out with every new job, every new friend, teachers, family members, friends, family members, etc., 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 until we can change society and stop having to come out, and it'll just be like, this is my human friend, Maz. There they are, meet them. That would be cool. But it's not like that. So that's how my life goes as far as coming out. As far as some like unrelated to me side notes, I just want to reiterate, like a bunch of other people have said in their videos, not to come out if it's not safe for you. Don't come out to people who could physically harm you or kick you out or emotionally or mentally harm you because of your identity. And just make sure that you're in a safe space and you're talking to safe people, and make sure that you're ready to come out. Don't come out because your mom is in town and you're not going to see her for another year and you think that you need to come out right then because she's there. Like, no, you don't need to do that if you're not ready. Don't force yourself to come out, and don't force yourself to come out into a situation that's not safe for you. So just remember that coming out is not always the right thing to do, and that coming out really is forever, and that you don't have to come out if you're not ready, and that there are many different ways to come out. Like, if you don't want to come out verbally, write a letter. If you don't want to come out face to face, make a video. Be willing when you come out to kind of help educate the people who are the most important to you, because there will be people who don't understand like what you're talking about and what you're feeling and what you're going through. and maybe they support you in your coming out and your identity or your sexuality, but maybe they don't really know, maybe they're not educated, so they don't know like proper terms, and they don't know how to talk to you, and they don't know what questions they're allowed to ask. So when you come out, it might be a good idea to have like resources for your friends and family. So that is all I have to say about coming out, and it's Sunday, and I hope that you guys have a great week, and be safe, and be happy, and just appreciate everything that you have, and know that we know your identity is valid, and we know your sexuality is valid, and you don't ever have to come out to me or to anybody else. We'll just accept you for being a human. Yeah. Bye, guys.